Good morning, everyone, and welcome inside the Spotlight Omaha podcast, where we take you around the city of Omaha, introduce you to local business owners, influential figures, and people who are making an impact on our community today. We're brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Pixel Fire Marketing is a locally owned marketing firm who specializes in website design, creating social media ads, and engaging your business online. If your business could benefit from that, check out pixelfiremarketing.com today. Joining me inside the Pyramid Contractor studio is Shelly Petersen of Avenue 51. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Jimmy.
Shelly, I want to tell our audience that may not know what Avenue 501 is, because it's a relatively new business in the Omaha area, what you guys do and why you decided to do it.
Hi, Jimmy. Thank you for having me. My business is a medical aesthetic business. I do things like Botox and fillers, microneedling, weight loss, microtoxing. So those are basically what I do. They help you look better, feel better. And I got into this business. I have been a nurse for almost 25, 30 years,
Wow.
a long time. And in about 2018, I joined the aesthetic world, and I decided to branch out on my own. I just thought I can do this. I enjoyed it, and it's something that I thought would be not only fun, but I could help others. And so that's kind of why I decided to do it.
Well, and the nursing aspect of it is the most interesting part to me. What are the benefits of having a medical professional doing this line of work?
That's a good question. So the benefits of it is you have to know the background. It's not just aesthetics. There are contraindications to receiving some of these services.
Sure.
So especially like weight loss, there are things that are contraindicated to it. So you have to go into somebody's medical history. And for instance, if they had medullary thyroid cancer, it might be a contraindication to that. So you definitely have to know, or if somebody wants to receive a filler, if they had a history of anaphylaxis to something, it'd be a contraindication to getting a filler possibly.
A lot of what you do is obviously to help people not only look better, but feel better. What are some of the benefits that your clients see after they have some of this work done, and what are some of the benefits of doing it from a health standpoint?
Some of the benefits to doing it is that they look younger, they feel better about themselves. There are a lot of patients that will actually write me on their days off, and they say, "You've saved me. I feel so good about myself. I look better. I'm more active. I'm doing things I haven't done in years. Taking vacations, going rock climbing. They're a lot more active in their lives, and they feel better. They actually are going out to where they might have been homebodies. There are clients that I've done their history, and they've gotten some testing that they've much needed, such as sleep apnea testing.
Sure. Oh, and it's helped with that. Wow.
And it has helped them.
When we talk about the differences between a spa where you go and just get a facial, maybe a massage, etc., versus a medical spa, what do you think are the two biggest differences between those two things?
A facial, that is another good question. So the difference is a facial, that's when you're doing a facial, somebody might go in and it may not necessarily change their appearance. It might make them feel a little bit better, right? It depends what they're using in the facial, so that can change a little bit of their appearance. But more what we're doing with aesthetics, it definitely changes your appearance. Not only how you feel, but it definitely changes your outward appearance when we do aesthetics.
Absolutely. If somebody is in the Papillion area and they're trying to find the shop, where's the shop located?
I am right off 108th and Giles by the Papillion La Vista Post Office, and there's a Celine Nels is right there as well, so I'm in between the two.
What has the response from the community been to your business? I mean, does it seem like when you're there, does it feel like a Papillion business? I guess
It's been very receptive. I've had people from all over the place. So I've had people come from West Omaha, Lincoln, Council Bluffs, come all over the Omaha metro area.
Is that surprising to you?
A little bit. I get a lot of referrals. So my business has basically been very referral based.
When you decide to take the leap and start your own business, we've talked in this room a lot about fear and reasons not to. What were some of the hurdles when you first started the business, both from a physical standpoint, maybe even from a mental standpoint?
So my biggest fear is we were just coming off of COVID. COVID was just starting. But I decided it was now or never. Let's do this. Let's get going. I can do this. I've had plenty of years of experience. I was confident in my skills. I had a lot of great training. When I did training, Botox training was like for 2 weeks. Now you might get a 4-hour training, when you're out there. I was pretty confident myself, and I was like, I can do this. I'm at an age where I felt pretty confident in the years that I had in nursing and my skills. I felt that I was ready, and I took the leap and said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be out there on my own.
What are some of the hurdles facing the industry right now? I mean, obviously, you just talked about the pandemic. That would have probably been a huge one 4 years ago.
It was a big one.
Because people aren't necessarily being in a place where they're right in front of somebody.
I feel like it can be oversaturated. I feel like there are more entities getting into it. At first, I run my own practice. You have to be a nurse practitioner or a physician or a dentist. Okay. In some areas, you can be you don't have to be as educated you can have an RN in some states. So I think it's getting a little oversaturated. So I think what you have to do is you have to be knowledgeable, good at your skills, and educate your clients and have referral basis. So
what do you feel like you do to kind of separate yourself from the competition?
Education. I think I educate my clients, and I keep up on my skills, and I do a lot of classes, and I think that's what I just had a lot of training.
Can you walk us through what kind of one of those classes, like just an overall view of what those classes look like, and why it's so important to go through that process?
It keeps you up on what's new and out there, and there, for instance, the way you inject Botox, there's a new technique. And it's a little bit safer. And the way that they've learned how to inject Botox has changed. And it's basically goes against the grade of how we've done it in the past. I just went through a class here a couple weeks ago, and there was somebody from Evolus who came in, and she's really great. Allison, she came down from Kansas City. We did a training. There was 4 of us in there, one of the drug reps and another nurse was in there, and they educated us by showing us how to inject and all the various places that you can inject that are on-label and off-label, the newest techniques, and we take that and we incorporate that into my business.
And you've used the word safe and educate a few times now here just in the first 10 minutes. What are some of the dangers about, because we all know somebody that knows how to do Botox, right? So what are some of the dangers if from a non-professional?
There are, so I'll use more dangers with fillers. So you can vascularly occlude somebody, meaning when you're injecting, say, somebody's lips. We have arteries and veins that are in places in your lips, for instance. Had somebody who gave me a call on a Sunday a couple weeks ago, had gone somewhere else, and she actually had tissue death. And so you have to use a product called Hylenex. I took her, had not injected her, and I Hylenexed her lips. She had actual purplish, blue-hued lips, and she had eroded tissue on her lips. Time is tissue, and so I took care of that. So there are definitely dangers to it.
We're catching up with Shelly Petersen here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing inside the Pyramid Contractors studio. When we talk about growth in this industry, it's probably different at each practice. What does growth look like at your practice?
That's a good question. Growth. I just recently had tried out a CO2 machine, which is, I brought somebody in from Colorado. CO2, you add new machines, you add new products. So you want to grow. I'm adding new staff. So as you get bigger, you add more. You add more services. You add more staff. And you grow bigger. I might have to move out of where I'm at because of that.
And staffing is always an interesting discussion. It doesn't seem to matter which industry that you're in for a lot of reasons, and the big one, especially as a business owner, is you're hiring somebody to represent you, your brand, and your name. Well, how difficult was that for you when you first started hiring? What are some of the struggles for you now?
So I have hired people before, and it just didn't last that long, honestly, just because for one reason or another, it just staff, somebody started working more for, like, say, their boyfriend's marketing skills or something.
Sure.
So that is a struggle. So now
That seemed oddly specific, but we'll allow it.
Yeah, that was very specific.
Yeah.
But especially this time of year to the end of the year gets extremely busy. People want
Sure.
all these things done for the holidays. So I recently just hired 2 new staff, 2 new RNs, and I'm very excited about it, part-time,
Yeah.
so that we can be flexible with their schedule. But one of them has training and has worked at another med spa,
Very
and
cool.
one of them are new. So I will have to do some training with them.
Is there ever, I don't know if partnership is the right word, but thought about like getting into massage and helping in other certain areas health-wise? Is that a discussion you've had?
I've thought about that, where you go out and open up a bigger business just solely where you're doing, like,
One-stop shop.
Yep, one-stop shop where you're doing massages and you're having estheticians who do facials, and you have like Himalayan salt rooms.
Sure, yeah.
Great things like that, right?
But the hesitation to do so has been.
Will it be successful? Is Omaha ready for something like that? And I think they have things like that a little bit further out west. Can it handle more? Is it oversaturated?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is it ready for something? Can it handle more?
The name, where does Avenue 501 come from?
Good question. Love that one. I grew up on 501 Arnold Avenue.
Oh, very
and
cool.
so it's Avenue 501, taking you back to your youth. So,
That's awesome. I love that. If there's something that you haven't done in this industry yet that you're looking to accomplish, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Probably it would be to grow bigger.
Yeah.
That is my goal. I've really, when I went into this, I thought I wanted to grow into a big spa and have all these services. As I've done it, staying small has been kind of nice. But I think that would be the one thing that would be a nice goal to have, is to have a nice big spa where you have a lot of services that you can offer people. A one-stop shop.
I can't help but notice in your guys' tagline says, treat yourself and be beautiful.
Yep.
How important is it for somebody to be able to look in the mirror and not only see beauty, but know it's them under all of that too?
Very important. I always ask people, what is the one thing about them that bothers them the most? What is the one thing that they want to treat? And let's deal with that today. Let's start there.
Sure. Do you notice that if somebody does and they have success in their mind, because obviously success is relevant to whoever is looking at the situation, are they more likely to try doing something else?
Yes.
Yes. And why do you think that is?
I think if they find success initially, that they feel happy with what they have, they're like, oh, this is great. She's right. This worked. This is wonderful. I feel good about this. Versus if that something has failed, this isn't working. This stuff is kind of hokey pokey. Botox doesn't work.
Sure.
I'm not going to come back.
Yeah.
But if they have something that's successful and it works, they're more likely to come back and try something new.
I wonder if this would work.
Since this worked, then this might also work. She's right. What she's saying, it has background to it. I use a lot of evidence-based practice in what I do, because that's what medicine is about.
Right.
At least what we do. And so I use that with it.
Do me a favor, hop in a time machine, go back 4 years with me. What is something you don't know about that you didn't know about the industry then that you know now that you wish you did?
Woo.
One. It's only one thing.
Yeah. Boy, it's very competitive, and that.
You want to hear something interesting? This is episode number 168, and that's the first time somebody's used that word in here.
Really?
Yeah, that's really interesting to me. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. It's very competitive, and that some people will pick pricing over education, and they value that more.
Sure.
Than, which I'm shocked about.
Okay.
Than education and experience.
For you, does that make it difficult to say, well, we have a set price and it's this, when at times you are losing out to a competitor even though it's better?
No. I stick to
Sure.
my values.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know what I offer, so no.
Because a lot of business owners that have been that we've had in here that have been in business for a long time, the one thing that they say at this question is, "I wish I would have raised my prices earlier." So that's really interesting. So,
No, I stick to where I'm at. And I've actually had people wonder there, because I think I'm very competitive. I think I do well with my prices. I've
Sure.
had people say, "Oh, you should raise your prices."
it's gotta be fair too.
Yeah. Is this real? I'm like, yes, it's real. I try to also meet those people's needs that, need healthcare and medicine as far as weight loss. So I try to help those people that need it as well. I worked at Creighton St. Joe's where there are clients that needed help, and I was an advocate for them. And I felt that they needed to get their medicine and their care. So I definitely have a heart for that.
You miss being a nurse at all?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do sometimes, but I feel like I'm still able to help people.
Sure.
I do direct clients and patients back to their health care and their needs. When I do get their health care intake, there's a lot of things that are missed when they're seeing their physicians, but I don't think they also tell them, but they're willing to tell me.
Yeah. We often ask how, like, we're looking 4 years ago. What's something about what you do now that you would like to learn that you haven't really experienced? Is there anything in your industry that you feel like, hey, I could get better at or be more educated on?
There is something because I want to take. There is something there's called PDO. There's threading, and I would like to learn that. It's something that is or been around. I haven't done it.
As a follically challenged human being, I obviously don't know where
So
can you walk us
PDO
through it?
threads, they're threads that you put in, and you can put them in your jawline, and it helps to pull it up. They stay for
okay.
about 3 years.
I thought this had something to do with eyebrows.
No, and you can put them like alongside your eyes. You can put them in between your eyebrows.
And what do they do?
And so it helps pull your skin and tighten it up.
Okay.
It'd be like having kind of like look like a little mini facelift.
Sure.
And it tightens it up. It lasts 2 to 3 years. Looks really nice versus going and having a facelift.
We've talked to a few chiropractors on the show too, and like there's obviously the stigma out there that chiropractic doesn't work or a negative connotation around it. Is there anything like that, or are there people that come in with common misconceptions about what you do?
Oh yes, there's a group of people that think that Botox and fillers it's a bad thing. We shouldn't do that.
Probably because somebody they know had a bad experience, right?
Oh sure, or that maybe their religion doesn't believe in toxins. They think they're bad, and they're entitled to that.
Yeah.
But toxins are also used in medicine. And I come back with that a little bit because we use them for migraines. We use them for people who sweat excessively or who have spasticity. But again, they're entitled to that belief as well.
Absolutely.
So.
And we're catching up with Shelly Petersen of Avenue 501 here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing inside the Pyramid Contractor Studio. I want to talk about you for a minute. You're a mom. You're a wife. You're probably a de facto softball coach at some point.
Yes.
How do you balance entrepreneur, business owner, boss, mom, wife,
a lot.
coach's wife? How do you do all that and continue to be successful?
I do my best. I try to. Some days I get off of work and I might run to a softball game, run in late, and I let my husband Todd believe I was there all 4 quarters or all 4. I don't
all 7 innings.
Innings, right?
It's football
innings,
season.
innings.
It's
You're right.
season.
Innings. It's innings. So he'll laugh
Do you
at
ever
me.
boo the coaching staff?
No, never
Not
boo them.
not publicly, right?
No. But I do show up,
Sure.
and I'm there, and I support him when I can. I always have to tell him I can't say good luck. I have to say good runs. That is what I have to say. So I definitely cheer for him always.
And it seems like anytime we have somebody in here, and a lot of times their partners or spouses are involved directly in the business. Does your husband at all play a role in what you guys do at Avenue 501?
Yes, he's very supportive. I think he'd like to be more supportive. He's a
little busy too, though.
Yeah, he's busy, and he's always, supporting me and helping me. Like he'll share my post. He's always telling me, get your books done.
Yeah, that helps.
Always wanting to help me with that. But he's always telling people about my business, so he's very, very supportive.
How do you manage your time? Like, what helps you be able to be a mom and be at work and still be supportive of what your husband does also?
I do. So I sometimes, so at night, if I come home, I try to get all my work done when I'm at work.
Sure.
And then when I get done and I'm home, I try to stop. Some of my kids live close by. So the route home, I'll stop by for a minute if I have it and say hi to them.
Yeah.
I try to stop by a game if I have time. I try to do the time management the best that I can. I try to plan. I make a lot of notes. I'm a note
Good practice
keeper,
to have, yeah.
and I have a lot of notes, and that's how I manage it.
How difficult is it for you at 5:05 to put your phone down and not look at it from a business standpoint?
That's hard.
Yeah.
So because I have a lot of scheduling that I have to do and clients that message me quite a bit. So I do have a lot of, I'm on my phone quite a bit.
If you weren't doing this, and we'll take nursing out of it too, so what would you be doing?
Oh boy. I'd probably be taking care of grandkids.
Yeah. Okay.
That's probably what I'd be doing.
You're obviously a ways away from it, but is that what retirement looks like for you? Is that something that is that the next step in life?
Probably.
Yeah.
Just traveling and helping with grandkids because we love them. I mean, we have 5 right now, 4 boys and 1 little girl, and that's probably what we'd be doing.
How important is it for you to be a mom and a business owner?
Both are very important to me. I'm not ready to retire.
And I'm not trying to push you either.
Not ready to. My kids would love it.
Yeah.
Both are very important because there's times where I feel the balance tipping, and I feel like I'm a little too busy right now.
Sure.
With work.
Not a bad problem to have.
Not a bad problem. That's why I wanted to get a couple nurses hired, and that's so that they could help out. So I could have a little bit more of my home life balance,
Yeah. What's your favorite part about what you do?
Is seeing, truly this is it, is when I see clients happy and they're having their successful results. I think that's the best part.
We've kind of already hit on it, but if we're talking about return customers, like what percentage of your clientele would you say is probably a return?
I just figured this out the other day. Honestly, I was just doing some of my book work, and I figured that out, and I had about 75%.
Wow.
So that's a pretty good return.
If there's anything you're not doing to help your business right now that you think you should be, what is it?
Probably I need to have more staff so that I can give it more time.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm spreading myself a little bit too thin right now.
Has there ever been the discussion about a second location, or are you guys perfectly happy with where you are?
I think just right now, one location is good. I have thought about spreading out to other states. There is another.
Well, you are a Council Bluffs native. So
right. Right. And I have thought about doing that. I did have a client that's a nurse that was going to help me do that, and she's moving to Arizona.
Oh, okay.
So I
Seems
thought,
like it'd be a healthy market for that.
Yeah. So we've talked about that.
If there's something that people should know about Avenue 501 that we haven't touched on yet, what is it?
Avenue 501 is probably that if you came to Avenue 501 is that we're probably the best thing that I can tell you about it is that we're a company that we're not pushy.
Oh, okay.
I'm just very open to what you want to do, and I take your feedback, and we're an honest company, and I use a lot of evidence-based practice. And the one thing I'll tell you, if I don't think that you're right for what it is that you want, I will tell you, no, it's probably you're at this point.
Yeah.
You're at this step. You need
let's
to
look
go.
at something different.
Let's look at something, or you may need something else like plastic surgery. A lot of people don't tell you no, and they will put fillers.
Because they want your money.
They want your money, and I won't do that.
And maybe the answer is 0, but I mean, is any of the clientele base male?
Yes.
Yeah, really? Okay.
I have male clients.
What is the biggest difference between when a female walks in and a male walks into the spa?
Males will come in and they know what they definitely want. They come in knowing exactly what they want.
Sure.
And they tell you. It seems like They have done their research, and not that females haven't. A lot of them have, but males come in and they say, "I want this, this, and this," and they know exactly what they want to do.
This may not be true, but is it because there are probably more options for women than there are men, or is that just not the case?
I think they both have like similar options.
Okay.
I just think that, and men they grow facial hair, so they can hide a lot of things too.
Yeah.
But men come in and they seem to know, they just seem to have exactly in their mind for whatever reason, they know what they want to do.
Yeah.
And they have it looked up, and
What's usually the most commonly asked thing for men that they ask for?
most men ask for Botox, and the second thing is weight loss.
Okay. What do you guys do to help with weight loss?
We do, so a lot of it is diet, exercise, and then either the compounded Mounjaro and Ozempic.
Cool.
Some of them are sometimes, if we need to do an adjunct of medication, oral pills, we do that. But most of it is that.
Feels like Ozempic is a hot button topic.
It is a hot button topic.
It kind of feels like the weight loss pill everybody's kind of been waiting for. But obviously, we just had Cody Guffey, who's a fitness instructor, in last week, and he talked about that. When you're helping somebody on a weight loss journey, and everybody wants to lose 50 pounds in 4 days, right? What are some of the common instructions or tips that you give people about losing weight, but doing it at a steady pace and at a healthy pace?
I have them, what I first have them do is track. I like them to track their diet if they can. I don't want them to get super hyper focused. So choose an app, whether it's Lose It or, one of those Noom, MyFitnessPal. So I have them use one of those and look at what they're taking in. First, look at what they're taking in. And then I have them, it depends what their caloric intake is and if they're male or female. If they're exercising, if they're not, I like them to try to exercise. Some people don't exercise at all.
Yeah.
And if I encourage them, if they're sedentary, to even get up and walk around the block, a couple times a day. That's more than they ever have done.
Sometimes it does a lot more than a medicine will too.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So start exercising. And then we go by cutting their calories based on that, but not more than like 500 calories a day, because then your body thinks it's starving. So we start with that. And then we look at their macros, their proteins, their fat, and their carbs, and we adjust that. And then we go from there. So, and water intake too.
Avenue 501 is located at 10717 Virginia Plaza, Suite 121 in La Vista. You can get a hold of Shelly and the team today over there. Do you have a phone number you can plug?
It's 402-779-6558.
And you can get a hold of them on their website that's been strolling across the screen at the bottom of the entire episode, avenue501.com. Shelly, thank you for taking time today doing this.
Thank you for having me, Jimmy.
We're going to be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, taking a look around the city of Omaha, talking to a brand new business. Hope you can join us tomorrow at 11. Thanks for joining us here today.